Hey Buzz, how does Nebo change you guys positively when he's on the floor? But the second part of that is, how do you feel he fits into what you want to do offensively in your system?
He gives us, number one, a body with strength, a mature body with strength. He gives us great athleticism. He may be as good a vertical athlete off a bounce as I've seen in a long time. I think in the practices that he's been able to participate over the last 2 weeks, I think those reps have been critical to his comfort level. You know, no matter how smart you are, you can sit over there and watch, and I don't ever let our guys just watch practice. If you're hurt, you're in the hurt group, and so you do like calisthenics the whole time. So no matter how much you're able to view it in the film room or on the court, I think until you do it, you can't have any traction. And I think with each passing day, the reps he's gotten in practice have been so good for him. Relative to our style of play, specific to Nebo, I think our style maybe has changed throughout the years based on our personnel. Maybe early in our career, we had more ball screen rim runner type guys, and then later in our career, maybe run things through the post, not necessarily the low block, maybe more European type, Golden State Warrior type. I think it's just based on personnel. I think he gives us what we call a go-get. You know, everybody is assigned, they're either a go-get on the offensive glass or a get-back on the rise of the shot. He's a real go-get guy. I think that'll drastically help our team maybe get a shot and a half more per game, but maybe prevent, I hope, at least a shot and a half relative to defensive rebounding, maybe prevent the other team from getting so many offensive rebounds. I thought his presence in that regard in the minutes that he played on Monday were really important relative to the outcome.
How does your defensive philosophy mesh around keeping teams off the free throw line? You've done it really well this year. Maybe it wasn't something they were great at last year. It seems like you've had success in your past years.
Yeah, I could probably shorten the answer. Maybe an expanded answer would include the only way to have a chance, I think, anymore, because guys are so hard to guard off the bounce, is in order for your DER to be semi-good or their OER to be maybe as low as possible, you can't give them free points. And, you know, I've studied a lot of the numbers behind it, and we've made it more of a priority. That doesn't mean that any coach believes in fouling. I'm not saying that, but 68% of the fouls in college basketball in last season's Power 5 play happened within 8 feet of the basket. Well, the byproduct of that is if they're happening that close to the basket, that means you're in rotation. Well, if you're in rotation, normally bad things happen. You either foul or they're going to shoot it and you're not in a position to rebound. So then they're going to get second shot opportunities, and a portion of those fouls that occur that close to the basket are on the offensive rebound. I'm late, I foul the guy as he's scoring on an offensive rebound. And so I think it was after game 9 in ACC play, what was in essence a year and a half ago, we literally scrapped everything we were doing defensively at that moment, because I didn't think we were 4-5, and I didn't think we had a chance to continue playing the way we were defensively and have a chance to play past spring break, and we literally scrapped it. And it's the only segment of time in my career that I've never had practice plans. We did the exact same thing every day in installing what became what we now call cover two. And a lot of it is predicated on trying to keep the ball high on the floor. You're going to give up more threes, which is going to end up being longer rebounds. As you've seen through 2 games, both opponents have shot over 50% of their field goals from three. But one of the trade-offs maybe is because the ball, you hope, stays high on the floor, it never gets to that foul zone. And so then you're not giving away points at the free throw line.
Was part of that philosophy change to advance because of the three-point now is a harder shot than it was?
I think this is what I think on that, Gabe, and we don't have data to suggest that this is true. I think the field goal percentage from three will drop 2 to 3% this year, but I don't think that the attempts will drop. I think the turnover rate until Christmas will be a little bit higher because guys are going to step out of bounds over there in the corner. And I also think that what the data will suggest over a season is there's going to be longer shots because it is if you're going to shoot the same amount of threes. Gonzaga's made 32% of their points have come from three. Well, what about the threes that they miss? Stereotypically speaking, it's a longer rebound. And so I think that ball in the air, Gonzaga / Texas A&M or no matter who, I think that's where the 3-point line being extended, I think that's where the number will show the most. That's my opinion.
What is your relation, you knew him from the first time you were here, your relationship with Gary Blair?
He's one of my heroes. I ask him nearly every time I see Coach, can you tell me just a couple of stories? And, he may be the best storyteller ever to live in College Station. I try to dodge him when I don't have time for a story because I'm so enthralled when he tells me stories. And I love people that tell stories. And I love people, regardless of their industry, who started from the bottom and through no relatives, through no somebody, some nepotism, they earned their way. Like he's in the Hall of Fame and he's still employed. He's that group, his generation, Coach Boeheim, Coach K, Coach Roy, all of those guys, that generation, that will never happen again in college athletics, in my opinion. And when Title IX started, I think that was the year I was born, 1972, how he became the head coach, the success he had. I love listening to him talk about Leon Barmore because I grew up studying him. What he did at Arkansas, what he's done since he's been here, I just think it's remarkable. And I don't think that regardless of Texas A&M, I think when you look at the history of what Coach has done, I don't know that there will ever be a male again in a female sport do what he has done. And he's been a pioneer every step of the way, and it started as a PE teacher. And he became the women's coach because they didn't have money to hire a coach, and Title IX was passed, and that was how his career began. And I text him, it's the first time I've texted him since I've been employed here. He shook my hand as I was coming off the floor on Monday. And I just have such respect and admiration. Like, Coach, why are you coming to watch us play, period? Why are you coming to watch us play Monday night? And he's such an easy person to cheer for, and he's so lovable, yet at the same time, everything he's got, he's earned it. And I just have the utmost respect for those types of stories.
Got time for a couple more?
Yeah, Buzz, excuse me.
Do you understand if your guys get more enthusiastic, if that's the right word, about playing a Gonzaga, or do you expect them to have the same approach to every game?
I think they're going to be kids. I think there's a portion of our team who's still unaware where Gonzaga is. They don't know that Gonzaga played in the Elite Eight last year. They don't know that they played in the Final Four in 2015. They don't know that they've been to the NCAA tournament 21 years in a row. They kind of have a vibe that Gonzaga's good. But I think the best competitors, regardless of sport, are not on a roller coaster relative to their excitement to compete. I think the elite level competitors in the business world, in the sport world, I think they're excited for any opportunity to compete against anybody. And so, do I think Savion and some of those older guys, do they know who Gonzaga is? I think so. Do our freshmen know? No, and not being judgmental towards them. They didn't know who Louisiana Monroe was. They didn't know Louisiana Monroe's in the Sun Belt, or where's Northwestern State. Natchitoches and Nacogdoches are twin brothers. We just don't have time to give them that level of content. So regardless of who we play, I think we have to have a race to mature of, no matter the opponent, no matter the locale, it's an opportunity for us to get better.
Coach, what are some of the things you want to learn about your own team from this opportunity playing at a top 10 school like Gonzaga?
Yeah, I think they're good enough to win the national championship. It's just because I have a very narrow lane that I live in. What Coach Few's been able to do is, it's unheard of. He may be a guy that's in the Hall of Fame before his career's over. He's the winningest active coach in the country. They recruit the world. I mean, they got 3 kids from Texas on the team, but they have 6 countries represented, and they're only playing 7 guys. So I think it will be the same test that we've had thus far through 2 games. Can we get a shot? Can we not turn it over? And when they get a shot, can we get a rebound? They're rebounding 39% of their misses. And through 3 games, no matter the opponent, that's a very high number. And that's maybe an Achilles heel at this point for us for sure. And so they're really fast. I think they're the 3rd most efficient team in the country offensively, and they're the 12th fastest team. And when they don't shoot it fast, they're playing through a pro, not a European pro. He's from Europe, but he's an NBA pro. You don't hardly see that combination, and I think that's why they're good enough to win it all, is they can play fast and score in transition, but when they don't have opportunities to score, they're going to throw it inside. And so many of their threes, they're shooting 44% from the 3, because you have to figure out how you're going to guard the big kid, multiple big kids actually, and as soon as you get in rotation trying to figure out how you're going to guard the big kid, then they're shooting practice threes. And so the combination of how they play, you don't always see. You can see teams that play fast or teams that play through the post, but kind of got a little bit of all of it. And when they play big and they scoot, when they take 1 out and scoot 24 over and play him at the 2 and move the freshman from the 4 to the 3 and sub in 3 at the 4, whew, they're like gigantic and very skilled.
Was Gilder ever close to staying here when you visited?
I think he'd already made his decision. I've known Admon and his family prior to coming to Texas A&M. Great people, like super duper people. I I think I talked to Admon twice after I took the job, but it was already kind of a foregone conclusion. And my conversations with him, he was very honest. I went and visited with his parents. They were very honest. Great people. They were very transparent in the process. It was so transparent that I had Admon tell our team in front of the team. Yeah, great kid, really good player. Obviously, he's on fire, and yeah, I don't exactly know where it was in the interim when there wasn't a coach, and I don't know where it was when Coach Kennedy was here. I don't know.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.